Let me check this thing out. You know, of all the items we've gotten so far, I'd say a paperweight is pretty normal at this point, especially with all the, symbols on here. If anything, it can be used for a puzzle later. Which is exactly what it's for. What's going on, everyone? It's the Niskel! Welcome back to Resident Evil Code Veronica X. In the last episode, we made it off Rockford Island with Chris, and now we're in the Antarctic. And now we're going to see how this entire base has changed based on Claire's actions. Because when she left this part of the Arctic, when she got out of this little facility here, she made a hole in the wall, and now the whole place is covered in ice. Oh yeah, and these guys show up. It's about time that guy finally fell from the ceiling. But yeah, he's dead. Now, there's the first change right there. Any doors leading into the main, sorting area are now locked. For a very good reason. Because you know what happens to water when it gets really cold? Well, it's possible that's what happened while we were gone. Or while Claire was gone, while Chris was still getting here. Because, in a timeline perspective, this is about 10 hours later, give or take. That's not official or anything. I'm just judging by, what has changed, how long it took for that water to freeze. And I think I read it somewhere, but it's the internet, so I can't exactly trust it. There's a couple things in here that you can get now as Chris. Chances are I missed them as Claire because it was so dark and I never came back here. Or they just showed up just to be really nice, saying, hey, you probably came here without a weapon. Here you go, have some ammo on us. This is kind of an interesting... oh, there it is. That's why it was so interesting. One of the people who works here hears this distant roaring, this moaning of a monster. They call him Nosferatu. And that's another hint as to what happened to the senior Ashford, what happened to Alexander. I really like how it all just builds together. Now, this would have been a good way to build up to the Nosferatu fight, where you are actually reading about him, you're hearing about all these entries where people say they've heard this monster, they call him Nosferatu, beware! But you know what? I think the build-up in Claire's part was a lot better, because you actually got to see that monster. And in the back of your mind, you're going, oh, I'm gonna have to fight that thing, aren't I? With Chris, now that he's already fought and killed, yeah, you get a bit more details about him, but now you're actually learning what Nosferatu actually is. If you haven't put it together, Alexia did a little experiment on their father, Alexander Ashford, and whoops, all of a sudden he's a monster. Oh, there we go. Look at all that. Claire, what did you do? That's disgusting. Oh, great. Well, if you ever wanted a sense of foreboding, just something to... a little bit of foreshadowing, if you will... you see a giant monster, chances are you're going to have to fight that thing. So, for those of you who saw it, there was a gigantic spider underneath the ice. Great, because it's always spiders. Hey look, we can finally get in here. There's just some shotgun ammo, there's a Duralumin case in here, and... darn it, Claire, you have the lockpick. So we can't do anything with it now. Here's another result of how the entire facility has changed. We can no longer use the diamond cutter to cut any metals that we might need formed. So what are the odds that we're going to get something that needs diamond cut and we won't be able to do it because that entire machine is broken? Very, very, very high. Because if you solve the puzzle one way, they're not going to make you do it twice. They're going to have you do some convoluted process in order to get to the place you need to be. Well, doesn't this just scream, I'm going to get up and fight you? At least we can pick this up now. That's our handle. Give it back. Oh! Darn it, I was trying to get in the corner so those guys wouldn't tackle me. I've got plenty of ammunition. This shouldn't take too much longer. And I hope you enjoy this camera angle. Chris, whatever you're doing back there, hopefully it kills the zombies. Okay, there we... Wow! You know what? To be honest, I thought that would take a bit more. I thought I would actually have to, move around the room to kill all these guys with a shotgun, but apparently I got the job done. Maybe the shotgun's better than... Okay, never mind. That's the only reason you wanted to come in here, was to get the valve handle, because now that everything is frozen over, in fact, I think the ice made it up to the pipe where the gas was leaking out originally. So now it's frozen over, so there's no possible way the gas could leak anymore. So now you can take the valve handle. And now you might be wondering, where do we go from here? Because that's it. Those are all the places we could go as Claire, and everywhere else is just frozen off. You can't get to it now. So now where do we go? Those were the biggest 2 rooms. I can't really think of anywhere else to go. Except, walking on the ice. I think that is not a brilliant move, but a very clever move. Where, when you originally came here, you saw there was a broken pathway that you could eventually get to, but how? How would you get there? And then all this water comes flowing in, freezes over the entire place, and then all of a sudden... Yeah! Now I can walk over to it! I just really like how it all... Like I said, when we were back at Rockford Island, it all connects. Even though the pathway has changed, it just all connects.
What? He's here?
You! Alright, that was a cheap shot. It came out of the cutscene, it was right on top of me. Okay, well... Eat it. I don't know, I couldn't think of a snappy one-liner. It was a blast to see you again. There we go, think of something else. But we have a brand new area to check as Chris, and now we're going to be getting into... the end part of the game, believe it or not. Now that we're in the Arctic base, we're going to start collecting things that we need for the end game. We're going to be using a lot of items. Hey, look. If we had a fire extinguisher, we could use that to, fill up an empty fire extinguisher. I wonder if we have one. There's just a lot of things where it's all going to... We're all going to eventually, use every key, use every item, and eventually get straight to the end. Like, right here, we need... a square. But we only have the octo handle. So there's your puzzle. What do we do with the octo handle when we need a square? Well, we'll figure it out eventually. I will say, once you get to this part of the game, they throw you a solid. Throw you a solid in that if you did everything you could as Claire, you basically obtained your victory. So there's another example of how it's completely iced over in the sorting facility. But you notice that there's a fire there, and Chris has the ability to get extinguishant now. The reason I say your victory is just clenched in your hands if you did everything as Claire is because that fire is blocking off an item that you caused to happen as Claire. And now that you have the ability to get it, it's one of the best weapons in the game. I can't wait to get it. But we've got some more exploring to do. We'll catch up with that later. And of course, there's hunters all over the place. Those little robots and their shiny lights can see me. Oh! I see you. I hear you. Hey, I got him. Sweet. I can't even tell in this darkness if he's purple. I think the hunters are purple. The hunter is purple. You also notice it's really dark. Bear with me for a bit as we try to turn the power back on. Seems to be a running theme here in the Arctic base. We had to turn on the power as Claire, and now that we're back here as Chris, we have to turn on the power again. So maybe we only got, the main sector to turn the power back on. You definitely don't have to go running through dogs anymore. You might as well clear everything out. We're finally getting to... Oh, man. I was hoping I wouldn't be on yellow. Jeez, stay down. Pick up everything you can. That's gonna end up bad. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. There we go. Because we're finally gonna hit a save box and hopefully turn the power back on. Because it's so dark. When I was actually playing through this, again, after years of never playing it, just coming through here and being like, well, shoot, I can't see anything. And I'm actually surprised I haven't had to, like, brighten the footage or anything. It's just naturally that dark. They want you to scramble around and try to find things. But I will say the advantage of it being so dark is the things that, like, glimmer, the special items that glimmer, are a lot easier to see. Ah, there we go. Shape of an octagon, we got something like that. And nothing. You never turn on the power, it just never happens. I'm just kidding, there we go. Hey, look! Let there be light! Chris, you did it! And now, wow, there's tons of goodies around here. Handgun bullets, a couple green herbs, and another blue in this room. They keep you well stocked because they know, as well as you know, there are purple hunters running around here. Yay. Yeah, always yay when those types of hunters show up. They're giving you plenty of ammunition to stock you up through the rest of the game. But at this point, if you've been playing like me, you have no need for all this extra ammunition. Like, if I stopped picking things up when I came to the Arctic base, I'd be fine. And now I need to figure out what I'm going to be doing with everything. I can drop this off because we're not going to hit where this puzzle needs to be for a while. Take the fire extinguisher just so I can show that off when we make our rounds. I don't need all these healing items. Oh, that'd be cool. We can make a mush brown mixed herb. Mixture of all three, so it's a fully healing plus poison healing. And that's it. That's all I can think of. Do I need anything else? I'll probably think of it when I'm on my way back, but let's go fill up this fire extinguisher just so I can show you how cool it is to do everything as Claire. And also, the lights are on, so anything that was closed via electronic door is now open. I love the small transition from door to door. It took less time to get through that hallway from one door to the other than it did to actually see the transition and the loading screen for the door. Oh, yeah! Getting better. I've never been good at avoiding those. But hey, maybe this is the time where I finally get better at dodging lights. Oh wait, I actually have to use it on it? Okay. Nice. Now let's go use it. So back when we were Claire, if you managed to get the label and you put it on the box and you use the conveyor belt to move that crate into the weapons room, you would end up getting this. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. A Magnum. The most powerful weapon in the game besides rocket launchers. The Magnum is a basically shoot and kill gun. And if you have the lighter, added bonus, you can set off this detonator. I will say the reward, not so much worth it. Look at that. Just handgun bullets, really? At this point of the game, where you just gave me a Magnum, and you're just now giving me handgun bullets, I guess the thought process behind this would be, oh, wow, that was cheap. I actually was able to walk through him. But I'm thinking the thought process on that is, what if they didn't know to give the lighter to Rodrigo? What if Claire still had it and she was able to set off the detonator, which is a possibility? So I guess I could see it, because there's an extra, 45 bullets for Claire? But if you're doing everything right, that's just kind of a lukewarm reward. But I don't care that much, because I got the Magnum. The Magnum can basically one-shot every simple enemy, including hunters. I think it's very rare if it takes 2 shots for a hunter, and everything else, their head just pops. Fantastic weapon, they barely give you any ammunition for it. Use it for bosses. It's awesome. I love Magnums. Because when you get a Magnum, you know you're close to the end of the game because they give you big firepower. I'll have to see how much ammo I can actually get for it, because with Chris, he's actually, battle-tested and ready for everything, so there's not much recoil for a Magnum. Just think of, shooting the handgun, but it takes, an extra second to fire again. That's how quick the Magnum is, so not only is it a death dealer that deals a lot of damage, you can also shoot it really quickly. There's a couple shinies in this room. You want to take those. They're just wings. And you won't need them for a while, but while they're here, pick them up, use them for way later. Again, this is the part where we're collecting everything, but it'll all come into play by the end. I wonder if Chris can actually get on these. That actually reminds me, this is the one shining star that I will always remember from Resident Evil 6. Is actually the Easter egg where Chris and Piers can play on the equipment at the playground. That's probably the funniest thing. So I was hoping maybe Chris would get on the horse and ride on it with a stoic face and go wee. Now that we have the Magnum, we got a couple wing items. I guess the next course of action, there's one room that we haven't been in yet, and we actually had to have the power turn on in order to go through it. So I guess we'll just head there next. Just go straight on. But there's also another place we can go. And I don't think we actually needed the power to be on or off to see it. So you know what? Why don't we just go exploring, and we'll see what's going on. Because there's a few things we can do now. Got one whole wing to ourselves that we can see. There's tons of crap in it. Gonna go pillage that eventually. But there's another thing that I want to show off. I wonder if we'll be doing it now. Alright, I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to show this small part off, and then we will call it quits for this episode. There is one thing I do want to check, and it's just to make sure I haven't missed anything, because whenever I come out here and pick up the 2 wing items, it always feels like I'm missing something out here, like a small pack of handgun bullets, maybe another wing item, because for some reason when I was playing this when I was younger, I always thought there were 3 wings out here. There's not. There's only 2. But now, this part. This is a cool part. Brand new theme, brand new type of area. It's no longer like a facility, it's actually looking like a mansion, like a house. And something doesn't feel right. Biohazard symbol, okay, nothing doing there. But if you go exploring... What the... Oh my gosh, it's Claire! And she's in a cocoon! And I can't free her when I'm barehanded. So you actually need a knife to free Claire. But something really cool, and I actually didn't know about this, come up here, and there's a couple things for you to check. Boy's finger, man's ear, and girl's bosom. Okay, remember, there's 3 items that you need to open up that door. But if you actually come up here, and you came empty-handed, they actually thought of that. There's just a knife up here. So good job, designers. You actually thought ahead. You just gave us 1 extra inventory slot where the save room is just, a couple doors down. But you know what? It's the thought that counts. So now we have a means to free Claire. We got a knife. She's just back there. She's just chilling. So next time on Code Veronica X, we're either going to free her or ignore her.